Hi guys, this is Dr. Aeronautics. Today we're going to embark on leg 4 of our P38 flight across the Pacific Ocean. We will be traveling from Port Vila on the island of Shefa in Vanuatu out to Fiji at Nadi International. We have a pretty good weather situation up until about the halfway point, in that it is pretty much clear and calm. We're going to go through a slight frontal system about halfway through. There's a developing thunderstorm that we might have to divert slightly to the north to get around. And currently in Fiji, it is light rain, but the METAR says that the clouds are at 10,000 feet, and they still got VFR conditions there. It's going to make for an interesting landing, though, because I'm actually planning to land this one at night and do the takeoff during the day. So this one will be getting harder, but we'll have plenty of fuel. So we will go ahead and do our little briefing that we've been doing every leg. Okay, here's the navlog for this segment, and you might notice that we've got less waypoints now, and that's true. We've only got a distance of 667 statute miles to fly. That's such a short distance that we'll be able to burn up more gas, just no problem. So we'll be at the engine speed of 2, which is the second highest working level that we move the engines at, and I'm expecting just about 2.2 hours for the entire flight. We'll be flying into Nadi International, which is NFFN, or I should say November Foxtrot Foxtrot November, which sounds like I'm saying things backwards when I do that. Anyway, yeah, that's just about it. Not too much important to note. Oh yeah, I will say that we are also at 30,000 feet, and that last 30,000 feet should say down. That's pretty minimal, though, because if we can't see Nadi, we're going to stay at 30,000 until we do see it, or we see some part of the island of Fiji. And this will mean, hopefully, that we have a higher true airspeed of 333 miles per hour, which should make things go a lot faster. Again, though, I haven't tested this particular aircraft. I've tested the P38J 15 by Just Flight, and those are the numbers that I got. So hopefully they end up being right, because I haven't done this before at 30,000 feet. Okay, here are the celestial navigation checkpoints for this flight. Because we don't have any islands in between our departure and destination, the 1 hour after Tapa climb point will remain unnamed as TAC 1, and we're hopefully expecting to hit that roughly 2 minutes earlier than intended because of the higher winds. The beginning of descent, because we're at 30,000 feet, is longer than 62 nautical miles, so the beginning of descent actually occurs before the LOP intercept on this flight. We're expecting to get to Nadi at 8:30, so if we have to take more than 3 sites, there's an issue. Okay, here is the fuel burn chart. Now, the fact that we are going a little bit further of a distance, coupled with the higher speed, well, not further distance, it's only the higher speed. The fact that we'll be traveling at a higher speed means that we burn more fuel, and we are actually predicting a point of safe one-engine return, which you can see at the basically the only intersection, and those happen to correspond exactly with the LOP intercept. Which means that our go-no-go pole, which would be about 5 minutes earlier, happens to correspond with the beginning of descent, which is actually pretty handy. It's like, okay, we're going to descend now. Okay, now are we good if we lose an engine that we're not going to have to return to base? So I will I don't think I've done one of those before, and I really need to get in the habit of doing those for when it matters later in the flight. Or, sorry, later in the Pacific, once we start getting into the Western Hemisphere. And if we lose an engine on the way to Nadi, it'll be okay. It just means that we can't return. Okay, and here is our landfall chart. This time we'll be looking at the star of Alphard, which will be out in the east. And again, we'll take a southerly track along the line of position to get to Nadi International. I'm expecting the LOP intercept to be flown at 1819. I think that's another mistake. I believe we're looking at 819 for the intercept here. Okay, yeah, I did look it up, and it's 819, so that's a copy and paste error. You can ignore the ones. It's going to be covering 719 through 919 Zulu. And basically the idea is as soon as Alphard is at the altitude shown on the charts, that matches a time for Nadi International, we turn on the LOP intercept as denoted by the azimuth of the star chart. Okay, and when you put it all together, here is the Google Earth image of what everything looks like. Again, the white shaded region on the eastern side of the screen represents where we, in theory, could see Fiji if the sky were perfectly clear. We do have quite a large range this time because we're as high as we can go, 30,000 feet. And even though it's totally irrelevant, you can see that we'll be going over 10,000 feet of water. Okay, guys, here we are at the plane. This one, we're going to start in the late afternoon, and we'll fly into the sunset. It's supposed to be pretty quick, so the way I figure it is we'll get the sun for top of climb speed, and then we'll get the actual shots using stars to get fixes later on in the journey. And by the time it is dark, we should be pretty much at the destination. We'll have plenty of fuel and time remaining to get on the runway, so I think we're good to go. We'll go ahead and skip through most of the checklists because by now, I mean, if you guys want to see it, you can take a look at one of the other leg videos for exactly how these checklists are done. I don't feel a reason to repeat it because it just makes the video longer. Seat secure. Very loud, angry Frau warning. Clear prop! And here is something from World of Subways. The original. Stand clear of the props. Alright, I will take care of the hydraulic pump checks on the right side. Okay, fuel is adjusted where we need it. We will go ahead and do a quick brake check once we get a little bit away from the pump here. And it is daytime, so I should be able to see the windsock. I was planning on runway 11, but we'll have to check the weather here. I'm assuming there's a windsock somewhere around here. I can't see it from here, so perhaps we should just start heading in that direction. Alright, going back to the checklist, instruments, check. Let's see, there's no taxi. Yeah, there's no taxiway that goes down there, so we're going to have to take the runway now. Let's see, compass, heading indicator, standby compass, turn coordinators working, instruments look good. I really need to get like an actual track IR or something. Alright, before takeoff checklist, canopy closed, side windows closed with ratchets on, ratchet is on, close, ratchets on. Okay, rudder trim, check that we're 0, yes, and check the elevator trim. We are 3 degrees back, so we're good. Let's see, fuel selectors. Oh yeah, that's wrong. We want reserve. Got that fixed. Are we near the windsock now? Nope, not yet. Alright, fuel boost pumps. Both on. 1, 2. Bomb selectors on. Arming switches are unsafe. Prop governors are full forward. Mixture controls auto rich. Heading indicator set by pressing the magical button that shouldn't really happen but has to because the simulation is broke. I will go ahead and think about setting our compass, so that's 86 is the heading we want to follow. That's pretty much got it there. Let's see. Heading indicator, we set that. Now check the vacuum. It says 4, but it's always 2, so it's acting normal. Generator switches both on. 1, 2. 1 is on, 2 is on. Close, close. Okay, and the coolant shutters we want in automatic. And auto. Oil shutters, automatic. Both are in automatic, and the intercooler shutters, both open. So we're good. Dive flaps up. Check and make sure they're up. Yes, they are up. And the wing flaps are up, and the handle's in the closed position. Aileron boost is on. Landing lights as desired. We don't need them, but I did turn the other lights on just because we're getting close to the end of day. So those are as desired. We'll leave those alone, and when we turn around, we'll be ready for the run-up check. See how we're doing on time. We're expecting a wheels up, or a brake release time of 0619. So we've got 20 minutes to go. As long as we don't screw up by misloading or deloading the aircraft, we're good to go. And I almost forgot to, I did check the tank levels, but I forgot to hide the cheat screen. So that's gone from view now, so we won't have any more cheating. I have to check and make sure that my my fuel level stays the way it's supposed to, because I have to purposely set the fuel tank levels low, and the fuel tank can. All right, the windsock is basically flat, so it doesn't matter. Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say, the fuel tank, if you stop close enough to the fuel tank, it can actually refill you by mistake. So I had to make extra special certain that my tanks did not refill, and I forgot to check them. Had I not forgotten to check them, I also wouldn't have forgotten to hide the cheat screen. Okay, I think we're ready for our engine run-up checks. So brakes are being held. We're going to bring the left engine up to 2300 RPM. Not 3000, 2300. Okay, magnetos we're going to check, so we're in both. That's off. Okay, that's right or left. Okay, that's the other right or left. And that's both. Good. So we're good there. Prop covenant's full forward, set for 200. Alright, we're playing this game again. I actually grabbed the wrong thing. I shouldn't have grabbed the control. I should have grabbed this thing. Okay, back to 2100 RPM. Alright, that's just not going to work. We're going to have to do both at once. I hate doing this, but there's no way around it. Okay, back to 21 and full forward again. And we've attained 2300 RPM. Check under 50 amp reading. Under 50, voltmeter is good, throttle 1200 RPM. Except back up again, because now we have to do the right engine. Okay, so that's just about 2300. Check the right magnetos, we're in both. That is right, I guess. And that's left. I'm starting to get the hang of that. And that's back to both. Good, we attained full, and we're less than 100 RPM drop. Cutting back to, oops, not that one, this one. 2100, good, 200 RPM reduction, going back to full, and we've attained 2300, so we're good. Under 50 amps for the ammeter, and voltmeter is pretty much full as it should be, so throttle 1200 RPM. Alright, we're ready for takeoff now, but before I do that, I do want to actually write down our first celestial observation, and then hopefully we'll be able to reduce the amount of time. So the brake release time is at 6:19. We're going to have a 32-minute climb, which means at 6:41. No, 6:51. We will be taking our top of climb sight. Jumbling words together there. The type is going to be TOC. The object we're going to shoot is the sun. Our assumed latitude is coming off of the, and I will try to explain a little bit more about what I'm doing now, because I have confidence that what I'm doing is right, so I'm going to try to lecture a little bit more. It is a Learn With Me series, though, and I don't claim to be an expert in this in any way, shape, or form, although maybe I can consider myself as being quite studious after this trip across the Pacific. Anyway, that's coming from the navlog. So it's between A and B and 6 and 7. We get the 17 for the assumed latitude. We're going to set it to top, which is 17 degrees 36 minutes south, and then the assumed longitude is going to be 169 degrees 47 minutes, and then we need to get the azimuth and elevation. So I'm going to plug in the time of the top of climb site into Skyview Cafe. We're on UTC hour offsets, category UT. Location is 17 south, 36 minutes, and longitude is 169 degrees 47 minutes east. So that's correct. The azimuth of the sun, I'm going to read that off of Skyview Cafe now. Azimuth is, let's see, that is going to be 14 off of 270, 256 degrees azimuth. So we're going to shoot behind us because we've got an easterly course. And then the altitude is going to be 5 degrees and 30 minutes / elevation. I will say that unfortunately diffraction is not simulated in the bubble sextant, but even if we were simulating diffraction, there are diffraction tables that we would be able to use to allow us to use the sun, even though it's below my personal cutoff of 1 hour below the horizon. It's the sun, though, so it's kind of hard to go wrong there. The biggest danger with the sun is getting your eyes burned out. Of all things. Okay, and I was going to say, we're all set up already? No, we're not, because I haven't put my assumed position in. So we're at 17 degrees 36 minutes south, and you do need these double negatives here in order to add. I haven't tried doing it the other way, but I just know it's wrong. And we're not in the Western Hemisphere yet, but we're getting close. It's not going to be this flight, it's going to be the next one. We're going to have a giant mouse wheel party, like halfway through the flight. 169 degrees, 47 minutes, and that has to round to the nearest 5. And then the star position, the azimuth of the sun, we said was like 2. Whoa, you can go negative azimuth? I don't know about that, so I'm not going to do that. We want to go to 256 degrees. This is even worse than our longitude. Okay. And then the elevation of the sun we set to, it's low. Really low. 5 degrees, 30 minutes. And we're set up for our top of climb site. Let's see, takeoff is at, going back to my navlog here, takeoff is at minutes 19, which means we've got a full 9 minutes, we're ready to go. So I can go through my before the flight checklist, choose your altimeter setting, it will not be changed in flight. Yeah, except until I get close to landing, then I'm going to change it. But anyway, we should just make sure we're at 70 feet elevation. Good, so that's right. Dead Reckoning is a 10-to-1 roll. Confirm celestial observations are planned / possible for corresponding to this degree. Yes, it is, because we're doing a line of position intercept in the dark after the sun sets. And record the time of break release, time of the Navalog liftoff time. Well, I've already done that, so as long as we actually make that the actual liftoff time, we're good. So the next activity that I have, besides my normal takeoff checklists, is to take the top of sight climb at the top of climb. So we're good, except for the fact that I just smacked my yoke again and see if the dive flaps came out again. Oh, look at that! I think they did. Yes, they did. Okay, so try that again. Please undo that. We don't want dive flaps on takeoff, and problem solved. It's actually a good thing that it is in that position, though, because if you think about it, when you dive, you smack the yoke forward, and all I gotta do is just make sure I accidentally hit that too. Let's see, there is one more thing that I wanted to do before we got going. And I think, okay, well, we can go ahead and open everything up, because we know historically that we've had to do that. So I'm going to open everything now just to... Well, actually, no, it's on automatic, so I won't fiddle with it. There was one more thing that I was supposed to do, and now I can't remember what it is. Oh yeah, I haven't been getting weather updates this scenario, and I didn't either in the last one, I don't think, because I normally get that bar that tells you weather update, and I don't like that, so I'm gonna see if it somehow disconnected without telling me. Okay, and do you see how suddenly the altimeter jumped high? That's good. That basically means it's sending the weather to my altimeter. So it was not before, and it was a good thing that I checked, because we would not have gotten realistic weather updates in flight, which is, in my book, cheating, because you get perfect sky. So this is what we have today. It's supposed to be completely clear once we get out over the ocean, not even cirrus above us. So hopefully we're going to be the highest thing in the atmosphere. That is everything we have to do. So we are ready at 6:12, and I'll note that for future trips that I am ready by 6:12. So that means we can take 5 minutes off the run-up and do 35-minute before flights instead of 40-minute pre-flights. See you guys at takeoff time. Okay, less than 40 seconds to go. Okay, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, brake release. Alright, and that was a pretty messy takeoff because my brakes are kind of ridiculous. They do that from time to time, and it's really annoying. Basically what happens is when I release them, one releases before the other, and they get sticky and hold down. It's really frustrating. Okay, so we had an on-time takeoff, and let's see, we want to check our temperatures and everything here. Yeah, we do want to open everything up now. That's open. Alright, FB open. Alright, let's see, we're not open there. Okay, we're good now. Alright, climb checklist, throttle 40 inches. Propellers 2,500 RPM. And we got to turn on course. Man, the visibility is a lot worse than what the forecast was at. That's not good. I mean, it's a completely different island, but it is kind of disturbing. This is not what the weather was forecasted to be like. Okay, speed established 165. And we're pretty much there. So the next step is to check the instruments. Everything looks healthy. Trim, set. Yeah, we're just about holding 165, and I do have to watch WWII because we're going all the way up this time. And fuel boost pumps both off. Landing lights, we never turn them on. Recognition lights as desired, those are on, we'll leave them on. And then next time we care about the checklist is upon reaching 12,000. And we better not forget the oxygen this time, because we're actually going high enough for it to matter now. Alright, let's see. To be on course, we really want to be over this way. Actually have us going slightly north of that spit of land which is down there. Oh, nice. you can actually see the oil cooler shutter status. Actually, you can see the intercooler as well, or not the intercooler, the coolant flaps. The intercooler is the only one that you can't see from the inside. But that's helpful to know, because the intercooler is the one that is the most predictable. Like, it actually says open when it says open. So we don't have to continuously go outside now. Okay, keeping track of things, we're at 8,000 feet. Right, not too far, so I wanted to be right about there is where I wanted to be, directly over flying. So we are cross track about 5 miles, so it's not too bad, but yeah, I would like to fix that. This is the end of the island of Shapa, and the last we'll see of Vanuatu. Okay, not going to happen this time. We're up to about 10,500. Going back to the checklist here. Okay, we're at 11,000. Okay, 11.5, and I just want to confirm that I can get to 12,000 and run the checklist, because if I can't, then I need to lower the altitude that this checklist gets run. Okay, 700, 800, 900. Alright, that's 12. Oh my god. Right on. Okay, so in the future, it looks like in the future we are going to have to say it was at 11,000, because that was actually right on cue. It's supposed to be once you get to 12,000 you run this checklist, but I see that it's before 12,000. So fuel boost pumps are both on. O2 fuel. O2 fuel? That would be very bad. I do not want to go boom. O2 flow on, and blinker check. Okay, we're good. And the O2 pressure, we should check that too. We're at 500. Okay, and I did figure out a fix for, I mentioned that my eyes were getting burned out by the white light that happens at night, and I was complaining about how I couldn't turn it red. Well, here's the thing. My light in the room is red, and the cockpit is white. So as long as I'm not concerned about red disappearing from the spectrum, we're good. So what that means is I can use the glasses that I use to drive with at night to preserve my night vision. On the computer. So, which means I don't have to get the light to go red. I'll just wear my yellow driving glasses, and that will take care of the issue. And because the lamp in my room is red light will not get filtered out of a yellow filter. So, problem solved. Sometimes you just have to do things the old way. Okay, we're at about 15,000 feet, and per the plan, it is now about 6 centigrade outside. And by the time we get up to 30,000 feet, it's going to be minus 29. So I will most definitely freeze my pants off. We're turning cockpit heat on. Skies should be getting really dark even before the sun sets, because we're going all the way up to altitude. Oh yeah, and I should get one more last look at land to make sure we're on course. Yeah, that's perfect. And of course, as soon as I say that, we hit a wind gust. Holy crap, what is this thing? As long as I keep it right on the nose there, we should be good. That is straight on course. You know, I think I'm actually going to look at the stick for the next couple of minutes, because it actually does help me figuring out how bumpy the air is, because the wind seems to be moving the stick automatically, which is really nice. you know, that's what will happen in real life since these are linked. So that's supposed to be a rear view mirror, but unfortunately it doesn't function. I would probably be a pretty good fighter pilot because obviously, you know, if a dogfight has an enemy plane in your rear view mirror, you know you're losing. And I get really agitated when drivers get up in my rear view mirror. So it's like I'm a natural fit for it, you know. I get very agitated by drivers tailgating me and showing up in my rear view mirror like that. So all I need to do is just, you know, fight in a war and make that aggression legal, and I'm guaranteed to win. Alright, we are above 21,000 feet now, so this is the never been territory before for us. I've had the plane up above 35, not this one, but I've had the Just Flight one up above 35,000 feet in testing. That's the highest I've gone with it. Now, I could have gone higher, but there's no real reason to, because I was preparing for this trip. Let's see, top of climb is expected at 6:51, and it's 6:36 right now, so I think we're still on time. We seem to be managing time just fine. So I guess one thing too that I should talk about is the P38 is a turboprop. Sorry, not a turboprop. It is not a turboprop. It is turbo supercharged. And because of the turbo supercharger, there is a wheel on the top here, the supercharger wheel, that spins and is driven by the air entering the engine. So, not bad. The keep on slipping up. Supercharger's driven off the exhaust of the engine. So, what that means is, at a certain point, the supercharger gets spun up to a critical speed, which for our airplane happens to be about 26,000 RPM. And it just so happens that the critical altitude where that occurs is roughly about 24,000 feet or 60 inches manifold pressure. And then from there, it drops something like 3 inches of manifold pressure for every 1,000 feet. So the critical altitude at 60 inches is 24,000 feet, which means if you gain 6,000 feet, it's going to come down by 18, which means 42 inches. So we'll be really close to hitting the critical altitude. And what's supposed to happen, since this is a later J model, the earlier models would have a alerter light up here that would basically warn you that you're going too fast, and it's like a slow light. It's the exact same thing that's in the F-104 Starfighter for over Mach speed. But for our aircraft, we actually have because it's a later model aircraft, it has a speed limiter, which basically means as you throttle the engine up, you'll just not be able to throttle up anymore past a certain point. And the Just Flight model did not simulate. That was one of the few things that it did not simulate properly. Basically what it did was it simulated a decrease in engine power. So as we climbed, this would happen. And then I would have to continuously advance the throttle to get my power back in. And Hopefully on this plane it does what it's supposed to, which is I'm limited at the top end, not the whole thing. What does this say? Warning signal, landing gear up. Well, I wouldn't consider that a warning, but I mean, good, I guess. It's up. Okay, we're at 25,000 feet now. Still climbing just fine. I love that yellow on blue. Oh, and now we can get all three. We can get red, yellow, and blue. If we do it, oh man. If it were clear on this side, we could get red, yellow, blue, and green together. So at this point, we're now so high that you can really appreciate the drift, like the wind drift. You see we're kind of drifting diagonally towards the right side because of the wind up here. That's beautiful. That's the kind of stuff that I see in the submarine simulator. Alright, dangerous time, weather update. Okay, doesn't look like much happened. Sometimes you get like wind shear and stuff when that happens. Okay, we're at 26.2. I guess I should probably check my engine instruments again, because we are starting to get really high. Speed's coming up a little bit, which is okay, but our climb rate is also decreasing. But so far our manifold pressure has been up. Let's see how we're doing time-wise. 42, and we're expecting to be at altitude at 51. Yeah, I think, if anything, I think we're ahead of schedule. We're climbing up. Everything looks pretty healthy though, save for the voltmeter, which I can't see, and yeah, that's fine. Now you can see we're really starting to dig into the reserve tanks, and it says fly your first 15 minutes, but I do like the idea of reaching altitude before switching all those off. But that's pretty significant flight time that was spent on the reserve tanks. If this were a longer flight, like the Robinson Crusoe leg, we might be concerned a little bit. Okay, 27.5 and still no reduction in manifold pressure, so should be good. Those supercharger wheels are spinning almost as fast as they can, or almost as fast as they're allowed to. Okay, we're at 28,000. Alright, I'm hearing the pitch of the engine change. Oh yeah, we're coming back. Alright, this is incorrectly simulated. It's exactly the same way as the MILV is, where you start having to advance the throttle. You see, that's why I'm so concerned about the pitch of this plane, is because even before I saw it, the needle, I could hear the pitch changing. So you see, we're having to slowly advance the throttle as we climb. Alright, we're at 29,000. So you see that means we've hit our critical altitude. And basically what happens is that decreases and decreases and decreases until you can't get enough engine power to climb anymore and you've leveled off. And when that happens, let's hope you've seen land, because you're not getting any higher. Okay, we're at 29.3. One back up again, 29.5. .6, and I'm going to get ready on my top climb stuff so that we can get right to the checklist. Go to the Celestial tab. Star 1 name is going to be the Sun, and let's see, the actual time and offset are what I need most right now. Okay, 29.9. .30. Okay, and we're actually at such a high manifold pressure setting that there's not that much of a reduction. In fact, throttles as desired. We want 39 inches, which is we're currently under that. So that's cruise power. And then, let's see, next is the prop governors as desired. We want 2450 for the RPM. Alright, that's it. So we're just accelerating now. Let's see, trim is desired, instruments checked. Healthy, 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 and the voltmeter, good. Everything's good. Okay, so all we got to do now is just quit the climbing here. Fuel quantity, we're going to switch the tanks over now. So, what are we? Reserve to drop tank at 648. Okay, and that's the end of our burning through the reserve tanks. You can see we've burned almost 15 gallons on both sides. Let's see, still climbing up again. That's okay. That just means we have excess lift that we can convert to airspeed. We're at 30,300. Obviously, we don't need to be any higher than this. And guys, this is the altitude that we're going to run the longest legs on. Tahiti to Totagegi, Totagegi to Easter Island, and Easter Island to Robinson Crusoe. Wow! It's like I'm above Neptune. Okay, top of climb site, 649. Should I delay it? So I need to make this decision now. Let's see. Oh, we sank. We're under 30,000, so I'm going to let us climb up now. The nice thing about how this incorrectly modeled manifold pressure reduction setting is that the lower you go, the more power you get, so you get pushed up. Then as you get pushed up, you lose power. So it's kind of like the Planet Daisy effect. Top of climb is at 51. Yeah, let's wait till we're actually at I will mark down level off. And I think, yeah, we said that's at 0648. So we actually climbed faster than the Just Flight model, which is kind of nice. Alright, we're sinking again, so I think we need a little bit more nose-up trim. We're going too fast now. Alright, so at 50-30 the shot starts, and we're getting the sun, which is right there. Four, three, two, one, starting sight. Okay, we're a little bit off on this one. Okay, I hear the pitch lowering again. That means we're climbing higher. This is so cool. I can use my my ears to tell altitude. That's what I was hoping to get out of this this business. Okay, the azimuth was 256. The altitude is going to be 5 degrees 30 minutes. The actual time of the shot was on time at 0651. Okay, and now we'll get our offset hopefully. And just a little bit here. Looks like 25. Yeah, it's actually negative 25. Okay. Offset minus 25. I think that means we're going fast. Because negative means away. Plot star 1, it should be ahead. Yeah, we're going faster than expected. That's pretty cool. Alright, let's see. We're at 30,500, but now we're coming back down again. We're going to have to get that trim issue sorted out. Okay, so from the assumed position, which was 17 south, 35 minutes on Google Earth, I just clicked the roller tool, and I'm mousing over to 169.45. And now I'm putting the cursor there, and now I've got the line which I can drag out. So normally I would want to drag it in the direction of the azimuth, but it's negative, which means we're further away. So I'm going to look at the heading, and it says 256. I'm going to take the reciprocal of that, which is 76, I think. Yeah, 76 is the reciprocal. And we have an offset of 25, and that's nautical miles, so I have to switch the units to nautical miles. 25 nautical miles and 76. Now I'll go back to regular old miles for safety. And then what I need to do is the tail end of the vector that is sitting at 1735 south and 169.45 east. I'm going to grab that and then twist it up towards the north so that the line heading now reads, instead of 76, 166. And 166 is our line of position on the sun. And now if I drag that out, making sure that it's still at 166, now I hit the save button. And that looks a lot like the image that I got there. So I hit the save button. And now this is talk space speed space LOT. And that should show up as a red line, and I'll drag that into my folder. So that's it. We're a significant way through the flight already, if you can believe that. So I should be able to get an average speed now. Now that was in climb. So let's see, we've traveled, I believe us to have traveled 124 miles in 32 minutes. So I'm going to grab the E6B now, and on the outer scale is the distance. So I want 1, 2, and the 4th tick mark. So it should say 12. It's 2 tick marks past the 12. And we went for 32 minutes. So now I'm going to line 32 up against the 2nd tick after 12. 31, 32. And now there's another number on the outside against the 60 rate triangle on the inside. And that's how I read my airspeed. So my airspeed is 228 because it's 4 ticks past the 22. So that's 228 miles per hour. So we true 228 mile per hour. Looks like we're climbing again. True 228 miles per hour on climb. And I think that was a lot higher than I was expecting the true. Let's see, I was expecting climb to be at 182 true, so that's a significant diversion or a change. I'm going to write that down. And meanwhile, let's see if we can get configured into our fast setting here. Okay, oil shutters are closed. And we're okay on temperature now. So for the coolant flaps, okay, those have come shut. And then the last thing we got to do is the intercooler. I think we're all right. Yep. We're fully configured for high-speed flight now. Now the next thing I can do is try to convert our indicated to true airspeed, but that's airspeed, not ground speed, so we do have to take that with a grain of salt. So we're at I'm expecting minus 30 for the temperature. So we're going to go to 10, 20, 30. So we're going to line up minus 30 with 30,000 feet in the pressure altitude thousands of feet window to the air temperature. And that's going to get us an airspeed correction. So now on the inner ring, we read our indicated airspeed. On the outer ring, we'll get a true airspeed. So we're showing right about 210 knots. And that's showing up as 351 miles per hour. So we believe our true airspeed to be 351, which is actually higher than what I was planning on. So that might mean that we're going faster yet still. we got just a little bit of excess lift, so I'm going to trim down again so we get a little bit lower here. Okay, let's take a look at some interesting things that we can do here. So I think we said 351 for the true. So I can take our assumed position at top of climb and start extrapolating. We took our sight just about 10 minutes ago. So if I set the rate to 352, 351, and then look on the outer ring, or sorry, the inner ring, how many minutes has it been? It's been 10 minutes, and that base is 60, which makes sense because we're, 360 is 6 times 6. So it should make sense that in 10 minutes we go 60 miles. So I can drag out 60 statute miles from there, and now I can get a assumed depth. This is the deepest part on the entire trip, right about here. It's 10,300 feet of water under the aircraft, and we're above 30,000 feet, which means for the first time ever we are at, well, actually, I don't know if it is the first time ever or not. Probably not. So we were at 20,000 plus 23, yeah, so we were at like 43,000. Right now we're just above 40,000 feet above the solid bottom. Okay, let's see if there's anything else that's really important here. Alright, we're climbing again, so just keep nosing down. Get a little bit more speed. Watching for islands. There's no hope right now, so I'm not going to do that. Let's see. Fuel consumption rate. I don't have any way of knowing that other than by following the headline. I've never tested this plane up at 30,000 feet. As a matter of fact, I didn't even know if we would be able to reach 30,000 feet, but I was holding that back because I didn't want to jinx myself, but we're here. So the headline says that we should have burned about 20 gallons at top of climb, but per hour we're at, I assume, 150 gallons per hour, and we've gone about 1/6 of that, so that's 30 gallons plus. So 30 gallons plus our climb fuel, which was 20. So I believe us to have burned 50 gallons now. That means the amount of fuel remaining with reserve is 580. Less reserve, it's 530. Total distance flown is going to be, we're probably about 70 miles now. Plus our original distance, that was at top, that we knew from the distance here, and we get a grand total of 193 miles. So we're actually almost a third of the way through the flight already. Distance remaining, let's see, distance remaining, 2/3 of the flight, so 440 miles or so. Interpolated position, sit right over the deep area, 1729 south and 171.16 east. And it is possible to return to home base even on one engine up until point of beginning descent. Okay. I think we're good. I did want to set up talk and a half just to see. So I think we're at going 352 miles an hour, which means 170 173 miles is what I would expect to have traveled. So I'm going to set up at 7:21. Talk plus 30 minutes. And this is where it gets really dodgy, because we have a setting sun. I think we'll still be able to see it. I think we've got a really clear horizon. I can see all the way out. Whoa. That's... I assume that's land. What the heck is that stuff? That might be the island of Tafea? Okay, so I can see Tafea from my assumed current position. That's 262 miles away. That should not be possible. There might be some weird diffraction stuff going on here. Yeah, that does not make sense. Okay, so if that's the case, theoretically that means I could see back to Fiji. I can. Wow. I can see back to Fiji 282 miles? Oh, wait a minute. No, I'm using the new assumed position. It's going to be 100 plus 184. Wow. That is the furthest distance that I can possibly see from this altitude. And that, folks, is why we do high altitudes on scary open water segments. So we can sight land at the earliest chance possible. It's not because I'm like, oh, we're going a long distance and aeroplanes is like to go way up at 30,000 feet because they do that. No, we are at 30,000 feet. 1 part for the winds and 2 parts for the long, far horizons. Okay, I need to get this shot set up. So I'm going to assume that our position in another half an hour is going to be at 17 degrees 21 minutes south. And we're going to be at 172 degrees 21 minutes east. And let's see how long we are from that. That's at 21. That's 14 minutes. I think we're going to get the sun. If nothing else, we'll get the sunset of the sun. That's important. When the sun drops below the horizon, that's a calculable parameter. We can use that to determine the position of the sun. So let's update 1751. No, 1721. I should know that. It's 3 miles difference here. And I'm glad we've been maintaining the heading so far. Of course, as soon as I say that, you watch, there'll be like a weather update, and then it'll suddenly become moderate to severe turbulence. It annoys me how on like ads on TV you never get, if your airplane is struggling with moderate to severe turbulence, get the Wonder Wing, stuff like that. Wonder Wing's patented technology will ensure that your plane has a smooth ride the whole time. Alright, I need to get away from there, because now we're starting to get into the other weird commercials that you see nowadays. Okay, going back to Skyview Cafe, and I'm going to update this again, so we want 1721 south, and we're at 172, 21 minutes, and now I got to update the time. So that's going to be 7:21. Sunset. Okay. What do I do now? Let's try anyway. Let's see, 10 minutes. I'm going to lose the sun in 10 minutes. Oh yeah, first of all, I should check and make sure that Vanuatu is still directly behind us. And it is. I can't remember, but I might have been in a funk and just said I can see back to Fiji. I think I've done that a number of times. Fiji is that way. We're heading to Fiji. That is Shefa and Vanuatu. That's behind us, so I could see back to Shefa. Yeah, I think I said Fiji. That is not Fiji in that direction. Apologies about that. Yeah, it looks like the sun is setting. Alright, right about now. Well, actually, the sun will disappear from the console. That's how we'll know. Oh yeah, also, we're not even following the right path. We should be at 85 degrees. That really doesn't make a difference. But still, I need to get in the habit of updating that more. Well, can I do negative elevations? Is that legitimate? No, it's not. Okay, so that's an important note, is be careful around sunset and sunrise because you're not going to get tides. So I'm going to have to write down sunset at 7:12. That was just it there. So now if I go back to 7:12, all I can say is that sounds right, but we've got far horizons, so I'm not as concerned as I was before, just as long as the weather holds. Honestly, I can probably do a land search already. I'm not picking anything up. Oh boy, was that the dive flaps again? No. Do I? Yes, I have stars. Alright. Well, I guess that's the upside of being at 30,000 feet. I'm going to write that down. Stars visible at sunset. And it makes sense, right? Because we've got a significant portion of the atmosphere which is down there. Ah, nice. One of the perks of flying at altitude. Okay, in that case, I'm setting up. So 1721, 172.21, and we'll prepare to shoot a star. Let's see, it's at 7:21, and we've got not too much time to do this. Let's just make sure we're set up in... Yeah, we're set up. And let's shoot the brightest star there is. Sirius. I have no doubt that Sirius would be visible even in real life. We probably about 5 minutes after the local horizon sunset, and even by then, if it looked good enough, maybe I don't even know. The bubble sextant might have like a 3x scope or something on it. If you have a large enough aperture, you can absolutely see Sirius even from the ground. So That's perfectly legitimate. So Sirius is going to be in an azimuth of 95 degrees. Cross out sun, put Sirius. And our elevation is going to be at 50 degrees, 45 minutes. And that's all the information we need to take this site. We just got to stick it in here. So degrees, we're going to shoot right in front of the craft. 95, because I don't want, neck straining. 95 degrees. And the elevation is going to be at, what did I say, 50, 45. Okay, and just to confirm, I have the line of position in Google Earth. Good, we are good. I can clear the shot, clear the star. Time to put the glasses on. I see the sun is disappearing from the console here, which means sunset is happening and it's time to go dark. Oh, look at that. Interesting looking sun there. Oh yeah, it's getting dark. Okay, we're set up for the shot. But now that the stars are visible, we should really think about a course shot too. If I look to the south, let's see, Canopus is at 330. That's not close enough. I want one that's really off the wing. There's nothing good to the south. Maybe I look to the north. Mars is at 153 degrees. Yeah, that's still not north. Let's see what else we have to choose from. Let's see, Attic, that's a magnitude 3 star. We won't really see that. Capella is at 14 degrees azimuth. Alright, we'll use Capella. And all I got to copy down here is its azimuth, which is going to be 195 degrees. And altitude is going to be 24 degrees, 20 minutes. And maybe I should have brought a pencil sharpener with me in the cockpit. This cloud deck is making for some dodgy measurements. Normally, this is probably the front that I was talking about, the front end of that front. Actually, I'm kind of surprised too that we're not above it, because, I mean, normally, I guess it's because we're so close to the equator. Normally, clouds like this, you can usually get above them by the time you get to 30,000 feet, and it's only like the mare's tails and a few other types of cirrostratus that are unreachable. I'm going to bet that if we went all out for it, we could probably get above that. It looks really close, like maybe about 3,000 feet up. Capella, can we see Capella? Orion should be up here. Yeah, I can see the Pleiades up there. Capella should be kind of under that. Okay, yeah, I see it. We're good. We're about 40 minutes from shot time. And hopefully this works. Because I was planning for not being able to shoot the stars. Oh, check it out. The text just changed to white. I was planning to not be able to shoot the stars because of a temporary window where it's getting dark, but I was not planning on not being able to get stars because of weather. I didn't see any clouds up that high, to be honest. Okay. 3, 2, 1, shot. Okay, good. It's visible. That is a massive offset. Let me check our assumed position and make sure it's what I'm expecting it to be. 1720 south, 172, 20. Did I do 20 or 50? Okay, I guess we're doing 20 now. But that's correct for Skyview Cafe. Yeah, that's correct. That's a massive offset. Maybe we slowed down. Okay, 25 nautical miles, and it's ahead. I think that means we've actually gained speed in the exact same distance, or magnitude rather. Okay. All right. So we get this written down. This was Sirius, and that was at 95, 50 degree 45 minute. Actual time of shot was at 7:21 on time, and the offset was 25 miles. Okay. Alright, and let's get that plugged in before I forget. There is Sirius, and now we're going to clear the shot, and we're going to set up for Capella. Capella is at 100 and... Wait a minute, did I say 100? I did say 195 degrees azimuth. Well, that doesn't make sense, does it? Does it? Skyview Cafe is sometimes off in its measurements. By that, I mean it'll flip and say that your azimuth is 0 at 180 degrees, so I need to take the reciprocal of that, so it's going to be 15 degrees for the azimuth. It's going to say that that's the wrong direction. That's going to be off this wing, and it's going to be up at 2420. It's not quite as high as Sirius. 2420. Alright, let's take the course shot, and we'll mark it down for 7:24 as the shot time. Oh, that's not bad at all. Considering this is the course star, that's actually really good. Okay, star 2, what did I say, Capella. Star 2 azimuth, 15 degrees. Star 2 altitude, 24 degrees, 20 minutes. Actual time of the shot, 7:24. Okay, offset is -15, so not quite as small as I was thinking. That puts us, I don't think I updated the track. distance here. Yeah, our line of sight, I need to update that. I think that's 184 nautical miles. Okay, so we are 8.2% mist for the perfectly clear horizon. Mark star 2. So we're a little bit to the south and a little bit ahead on course, but that's actually a good thing because that means we're going to end up using less fuel. So I'm going to hide that, and we'll do another land search here. Nothing. Once I get these LOPs put in, I can stop worrying about my trying to sight land, because I don't know if I can or not, but I can't free up the cursor until I get these LOPs in. Okay, so our assumed position, let's bring that up again so that I can look at it. So I'm going to fly over in Google Earth to 17 degrees 20 minutes south and 172 degrees 20 minutes east. So from this position, I'm now going to change the scale to nautical miles, open up the ruler tool, and the azimuth of Sirius was 95 degrees. So at 95 degrees, I have to go out the offset distance that we found, which was it 15? Yeah, it was 15. And because it's positive, no, it's 25. Because it's positive, it's in the direction that we 25. It's in the direction of the azimuth. So then I'm going to grab the end that's at the assumed position and swing that up so that it's 90 degrees off. So instead of 95 degrees, I'm going to swing it up towards the north, and it's going to say 185 degrees. I'm going to extend that way out because now we have a course LOP, and I'm going to save this one, and this time I'm going to call it 30-minute fix speed LOP. Okay to save, and then drag it up into my folder. Okay, and now we're going to repeat for the speed LOP. So again, going back to 17 degrees 20 minutes south and 172 degrees 20 minutes east, I draw out a line that is 15 nautical miles long, but away from Capella because the offset is negative. So instead of 15, it's going to be what I originally read off of Skyview Cafe, interestingly enough, which was 95, or 195. Let's see, that's going to be off of 15 degrees. And then I'm going to go back up to the assumed position and grab that end of the vector. We're going to add 90 degrees to that, so instead of 195, it's going to be 285. And I'm going to drag that out. Save. This is now the 30-minute fix course LOP. And something tells me that I got the distance wrong. So it's 195 to 285. Huh. It looks different than it does on the chart for some reason. Oh well, not too big a deal. So we're a little bit right of course. We're actually heading more directly for Fiji, and I want to be heading more towards up this way. So, well, we finally managed to actually do one altitude for once. We're exactly at 30,000 feet. That means we should be able to get a really good speed indication. So I'm going to go to Google Earth, and from the top speed LOP, I'm going to drag out to where our assumed position was, and I'm going to drag out to our current known position based on the fix. And from that, I find that's 171 miles. So grabbing the E6B on the outside, I find the tick mark halfway between the first tick mark after 17 and 17. And we knew that was 30 minutes, so we're going to drag 30 until it's between 17 and the one after 17. And now on the inside ring, look at where the 60 rate triangle is. And I find that's 342, call it. So I'm going to write down here talk to talk plus 30 minutes equals 342 miles per hour, and that's a ground speed. So 342, and I was planning on 330. Wait. Okay, we're between talk and talk 1. 346. All right, that's just a difference of 4 miles per hour. So, and that was based on pure guesstimate. So that's good. That's good. That means that that not only are we on track, but the guesswork that I did to try to get the current numbers here are actually really, really good. And that's good because this is the altitude that really matters, because this is where the long legs take place, way up here. Alright, I see a couple stars rising over the horizon, and the interesting thing is if you have a clear enough horizon, theoretically you could determine your position based on the star rise times, although that probably required computational levels that were unattainable in the 1940s, unless you were really, really good at what you did as a navigator. They had this system in Egypt where it was basically viewed as, I think they called it like the Ramesside clock or something. Basically what you would do is you would mark a given day on the year, a star that rises overhead. And the really cool thing is they actually had units, left or right units to tell you where it's going to come up. Instead of degrees, they had positions. So you had like the left arm, the left shoulder, the head, the right shoulder, and the right arm for determining where the star would rise. And no one knows this for sure, but the seminar that I watched basically said that the person would have had to have a unique figure to them. So in other words, they would have to be a certain height, and their skeletal structure would have to be a certain dimension, and you would have to place them a certain distance from you, the observer, in order for the information to be valid. It looks like we're through... Why did it just get dark all of a sudden? There's no indication that that dawn was ever a thing. What the heck is going on? We don't have the moon either. That's not good. is just about to perform a search of the horizon. For that matter, where are my stars? Okay, there's one. That doesn't look nice. Not sure what the heck happened there. Alright, so now I want to figure out when I'm actually going to be at Mach 1. So if I drag the distance slider out, I find that we're going to be at Mach 1 at about, let's see, it's 141 miles. I'm looking at the E6B, 141 miles will be covered in about 25 minutes. So, new time for Mach 1 is going to be 25 minutes after the check here. So instead of 7:51, it's going to be 7:46. And looks like it's time for the lights. Try putting the glasses on and see if this works. A little bit. It's still too much white. I might have to get red filtered glasses, but this makes it a little bit more comfortable. Yeah, let me put it that way. This makes it bearable. The cool thing is, you know, I'm wearing glasses, which, you know, the pilot would actually be wearing glasses in real life. In fact, I think the simulation model yeah, he is wearing glasses. That's cool. So I'm actually going up in realism by doing this. Okay, let's see. The next thing that I want to do is figure out where I'm going to be at that time. Well, no, I'm going to use the assumed position of Mach 1. Let's see, Mach 1 will be 17 degrees, 10 minutes south. And 174 degrees, 50 minutes. Alright, so I'm going to get that plugged into Skyview Cafe, 746. And we're at 17 degrees, 10 minutes south, and 174 degrees, 50 minutes east. I can still use Sirius. Sirius is going to be at 94 degrees and 59 degrees, 5 minutes. And then, let's see, for Capella, that's going to be at 8 degrees and 26 degrees, 10 minutes. Okay, just to plug all this information in now. $17.10 south and 174.50. And then the azimuth is going to be 8 degrees. And elevation 2610. Wait a minute, I just set up for Capella. I want to set up for Sirius. Speed shot comes first. Let's see, 170. Wait a minute. I copied this information in the wrong column. Alright. So my handwritten notes are off, that's all. Okay, 95, the columns are off, is what I mean. 95 degrees and 59.5. Okay, I have these numbers written down, so clear star 1, clear star 2. Now we're set up. Shot happens at 45:30, so that's just about 3.5 minutes. And here is our light show in the sky. I'm surprised I didn't notice that last time we were doing this. I'm like, hey, where's all the lights? I guess I just figured, you know, that the Milviz one, no, sorry, this is the Milviz. I meant the Just Flight one. Didn't really work. Oh yeah, and now I can finally free myself up. So using the current speed, we've gone 20 minutes, which means we're going to we've covered 115 miles from the last sighting point. So right now, I believe us to be 168 to 182 miles to land. So just now is the first time that we might see land. And for our current heading, let's see, we have a magnetic offset of like 12 degrees. 12 degrees east. And let's see, we need to add. So instead of following 85, we're following like 95. Is that right? Yeah. Okay. So it's pretty much straight ahead is where we would be expecting to find land. Hopefully Fiji's not too crazy because I'm not in the mood for flying a search pattern tonight. Okay, I can't see anything left yet, but this is the first opportunity that we would be able to sight land right about now. So I'm glad the plane holds at 30 kilometers, or 30 kilometers, man. Oh, it'd be nice if we could get that high. I'm glad that the plane is holding 30,000 feet quite easily, because this is about you know, like I said, the longest flights, both in time and distance, will be spent up here. So yeah, it's like Planet Daisy, you know, if you descend too far, you pick up power and you climb back up again. If you go too high, you lose power and you come back out, and it's a self-balancing act. You know, I stay at 30,000 feet, so the plane will either power down or power up based on the altitude. Really nice, that is. Uh, 4530 is in like 7 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, starting the shot. This is top 1. Alright, I think we've got it. So it looks like we're going to have a 15 nautical mile offset again, which is a little bit interesting, because that's been a recurring pattern. So it's like the winds are getting faster. Or you know what it could be? I think my indicated airspeed is getting higher. I think I was pitching down. I have a feeling that between talk and bod, beginning a descent, it's probably not going to do that. Yeah, we got a positive 15 mile offset. So I'm going to get that time written down. Actual time was 7:46. It was a 15 mile offset. And I think we should get set up for the next shot. But we need to plot the star. Yeah, we're ahead again. Actually, one thing that does cause a problem with me wearing these glasses is it makes that blue line look rather teal. We'll see how it looks like compared to the green line, though. Okay, so we're going to get Capella again, which is at 8 degrees, 26 degrees, 10 minutes. That's fine. That's going to take all night. 26, 10. Okay. Taking the offset. Yes. Okay. This is star 2, which is Capella over here. Okay, looks like this one's going to be 40. That's a big offset. We're going to take corrective action with that one. So I'm going to get this written down again. Sirius is at 94 degrees, 59 degrees, and yeah, that's negative 40, which means we're drifting south. I'll get to that in just a minute here. 59 degrees, 5 minutes. And then Capella, the star azimuth now was 8 degrees. And then 26 degrees, 10 minutes. Actual time of shot was likely 7:49. That was the time that we were originally planning to do Talk 1. And the actual offset is -40. We're 20% off track for miss. Oh yeah, I can tell the difference between those two, no problem. Okay. So yeah, we're gonna have that fixed. Okay, except this is Talk 1, which means we need to get through the other stuff now. Okay, do every checkpoint during the flight. Calculate your true altitude, so that's going to be 29 point... it was lower this time, 29.68 from 29.92. That's 0.24, so that's 240 feet. Times 1,000, yeah, that's 240 feet plus the indicated altitude. Let's see what we're looking at. That scared me for a second when I looked over there. I'm like, whoa, something's going wrong. Looks like we're at 30,300. So if I add 240 to that, that gives us 30,540. Okay, that's done. Calculate actual ground speed from the previous site. Oh yeah, I should be doing that. Actually, I need to get this plotted. I haven't plotted it yet. Okay, so from the Talk 1 position, the first offset was 94 degrees. And it was 15 nautical mile offset, I believe. Yes, a 15 nautical mile offset. So I'm going to drag out 15 nautical miles. And I'm not going to be able to talk as much about this one because time is of the essence because we're drifting off course more. And we're getting pretty close to beginning a descent. Okay, and then I'm going to add, so that's 185. I'm going to drag this guy out. Save, and this is a point, so it's going to be Talk 1 speed LOP with haste. And then I need to take another one. And this one's going to be dragged down opposite of the direction because we have a negative offset. So it's going to be 188, 40 miles. And the good thing is we are actually on a direct line for the airport. But I do want to have this LOP intercept to demonstrate that it works during the night. So I am going to correct it, even though in normal I might be like, it's good. No, I want to correct it. So we're going to go to 278 for the line of position. So I need to extend this out. And this is going to be called Talk 1 Course LOP. Okay, so I'm going to save that. And now, as of that time, we were 140 nautical miles from Nadi, so we should definitely be able to see something if the sky was as clear as it was before. Kind of hard to tell if that's a cloud bank or an island. Anyhow, we have some instructions to take care of. Okay, so I got those fixes down, and in 30 minutes, or was it 27 minutes? It was, actually it was 25 minutes. So in 25 minutes we traveled 130 miles. 25 minutes is 130, meaning our speed was 311. Okay. So 311 miles per hour. And okay, that's it. We're now down to calculating the offset here. Okay. Wind correction to parallel. Procedure. Using the fix on the chart, determine how far off course you are. 40 nautical miles. In general, if you're less than 10, that's within the margin of error. Nope, 4 times that. Remember, by the time that you find that you're off course, you've continued on your own course for an additional distance. So all I need to do is figure out how long ago the sight happened that we determined. That's a speed LOP. The speed LOP occurred at minutes 46, and it's been 10 minutes, so we'll say it's been 12 minutes. That means we would have traveled an additional 60 miles in our direction. 60 statute miles, to be precise, in the current direction. So let's see, we're 60 miles off, and we want to intercept in 122 miles. Wow, this is going to be a sharp turn. Find the distance off course on the outer scale. Is that right? That can't be right. 122, and we're, yeah, 60, because it was in nautical miles. Damn, that's really far off. Okay, not that we can't correct it. It's just, you know, like, thought my pilotage was a lot better than that. Okay, so the distance off course 60 on the outer scale. On the inner scale of the this is the E6B, by the way. We're going to turn the dial to match the distance you flew since last being on course. Okay. So 60 miles off, and we were on course at TOC, we assume, so that's 376. Okay. Alright, that's completed. Let's see, next step is to read the correction rate angle on outer scale. So that's 9.5 degrees. So at 07:58 correction, what is that? So it's 9.5. We kept drifting, so let's round it up to 10. 10 degrees left to parallel. Okay. So we have, I think it's 86 here. So we're going to go to 76. It seems like things have already fixed themselves to some degree. And then the wind correction to the destination. So on the inner scale, set the distance remaining off the distance out course on that outer scale. So that's the big one. So what we said, 60 miles and 100, right now it's definitely like 120. So that means 30 degrees. I knew that would be big. So at 07:59 correction, 30 degrees left to intercept. Okay, so we're at 74, 64, 54, 40. So we're now following a heading of 44 degrees. Okay, and then the next thing that I need to do... Oh, that's cool. I could hear my descent. That's so cool. I can hear like the difference between like 150 feet or so. See, so we're picking up energy, we'll pick up some airspeed, then we'll climb up, and that extra energy will fizzle out. It's self-righting. That's so cool. So it's like I have a really bad altitude autopilot. Okay, now I got to figure out how long it's going to take us to intercept. We were truing 311 miles per hour, and it's 175 miles to go. So 175 on the outer scale, and wait a minute. No, I'm reading it wrong. 310 set to 60 rate, and now on the outer scale I'm going to look 174, and it's showing up as 33 minutes. So, oh wait, that's LOP intercept, but I wanted beginning of descent. So it's 141 miles. That's going to be 27 minutes. Estimating beginning of descent at oh, what's this going to be? Beginning of descent. 140. Okay, lost my train of thought there. 27 minutes. And I have to add that to the time I took the site. Talk one was at 7:46, so that's 8:13. Okay, now how does that compare? That's 6 minutes out from. So at 8:19, that's when I'm expecting to be at my LOP intercept, and see what my landfall chart is. Oh, that's the exact time I was planning for. So we're right on time. Not bad. Not bad at all. Alright, enough playing this game. It's time to look for land. Let's see... WWII does not have any tall mountains beyond, well, some to 3,000 feet, but we're not going to see that from way the heck up here. Well, that's why we fly LOP intercepts. Still not seeing it, and we've got to be really close now. I could be looking at it and I don't even know it. Well, let's see. Actually, I can calculate this. So, 8:03. That means we've traveled 17 minutes. So we've gone 90 miles. Let's see. I think we're close enough. We're going to set up for our LOP intercept at this point. Land is going to be at a diagonal, but it should be 66 miles away. We should really start to be able to see that. 66 miles. That's 1/3 of the distance to the horizon, so that's going to be about where those cloud banks are. I still can't see it, but that's fine. Alright, I'm going to set up for the LOP intercept now. So, we are going to set the assumed position to the destination. So Nadi is at 1745, and then 177, 25. It's really 27, but we'll have to deal with that. Set the wrong number there. 1745, 177.27. Okay, so that's set to the destination, and we can start checking shot times here. So I'm going to go onto the landfall chart. I notice the time is at 8:05 now, so that's actually really close to what I'm reading on the chart here for 1759, and that's showing up as 23 degrees 24 minutes. So I'm going to set this to 23 degrees and 4 minutes, and this is where we would expect the star to be if we were on the LOP intercept. And just to confirm, yes, we've got our stars down, and don't want to go too far off course here. So we're going to clear star 1, star 2, clear the shot, and begin. Oh. Well, that's a bit spooky. That's telling me that we're on the LOP intercept. Why the heck are we so far ahead? 1745, 177.27. And we're expecting to see a star. Oh, I didn't set the azimuth yet. Oh, wait a minute. I didn't set anything with the star position. Okay, this is a bad shot. We're gonna throw it out. We're looking for Alfred. Alfred is at 23 degrees 4 minutes, and shoot, 23 degrees and 4 minutes, and we wanted the azimuth to be 92 degrees. Okay. Okay, guys, I'm gonna say we're here. It's kind of really weird or way early. So I'm going to say LOPI is at 8:07. And even though we've hit our we have hit beginning of descent, I have not made visual contact with the island, which means I want to keep my altitude so that I can find land. We turn on an azimuth of 182, which is going to look like that. And if I extrapolate the position that we were going on, that means we have 54 miles to go. And I know I definitely underturned, so we're probably going to go to about 190. Alright, this is starting to get concerning. We should be seeing land for what the shot's telling me. I guess that's one disadvantage of, you know, not using the shot star over and over again. I want to make sure I did that right. So we set the position of the destination, which means we're assuming that we're at the destination. Start position of 92 degrees and 23 degrees 5 minutes. That's correct. And our elevation offset was -5, which confirms that we passed the location. God, there should be islands down here. Why can't I see them? Literally nothing. Well, guys, this is the first time that I am really scared that I might actually be lost. Let's take another LOP intercept course site, because I did not sight land like I was hoping to. So now we're at 8:11. So I'm going back to my chart here. At 8:11, we're going to split the difference. So assumed position is not going to change at all. Our azimuth is going to be 91 degrees at this time, and it's going to split the difference. So 2.5 degrees above. So 25.9 is what we're expecting the altitude to be. And if we were directly on line for base, this should be showing up as a course star now. I forgot to plot the star. Well, no, that plots it. See, so we're flying this blue line now. I almost said green line. I shot the LOP. There's nothing more to get from that. We'll clear it. Okay, I think we're beyond the star. You'd think there'd be like city lights or something down there. Alright, and this is where I have to be really careful. So how many minutes has it been? LOP intercept was 6 minutes ago. In 6 minutes, we would have traveled 30 miles from LOP intercept. We should be almost over Fiji at this point. Miles. We're drifting even further off. -20 miles in the opposite direction of 91 degrees. So let's see, 91 means we're away. That means we've drifted back east again. Okay, that's something that we definitely, or drifted back west again. That's something we definitely don't want to do. I might have to take an emergency shot. You know how I basically said that there's other lines in the celestial log? Well, I might have to take one. The next scheduled one is at 8:51. Or no, it's at 8:21. At 8:21, if I still haven't seen the island, I'm going to take an emergency shot. Man, where are you? Nothing. Fiji's a big island too, so I guess if I don't find something that's truly obvious, I'm gonna say from now on no more night landings, because this is dangerous. I'm not seeing anything. Okay, let's see, 8:16, we're getting close to the first emergency shot now. Let's see, 8:20, 8:21. Let's go with Sirius, because we've been using Sirius the whole time. And we'll go with, first off, let me see how long it's been. We did the LOP intercept 20 minutes ago, and in 20 minutes we would have traveled 115 miles. What? Yeah, that's right. Oh my gosh. We should be right over Fiji, and we're not. There's something really wrong. Okay, well, the power of celestial navigation is that if you know your assumed position, you can find out where you are relative to that position. I didn't want to do it this way, but we're going to have to do it this way. We're going to swap stars, though. Sirius is going to be our course star, and Capella is now going to be our speed star. So I guess we need a row for this thing. We're going to say that the shot's going to happen at 8:21. This is going on the log as E1 for emergency 1. The first star is going to be Capella. And the destination is going to be 17 degrees, 45 minutes south, and it's going to be 177 degrees, 25 minutes east. The time of the shot is going to be 8:21, so I'm going to plug this information in now. 8:21, and it's 17:45 south, 177, 25 east at 8:21. Okay, and now I'm going to look at Capella. Capella is going to be at 359 degrees, 26 degrees, 15 minutes. And then we need Sirius. Which now is exactly 90 degrees. On 69 degrees, 55 minutes. And I gotta move this thing now. Yeah, it's time. So we went 359. And then 2615. Okay, 2615, 359. It's time to take the shot. Okay. And we're not that far off. Yeah, we're not actually that far off. So this is the true distance from the destination that we're using now. So let's see, this is on an azimuth of north-south. Okay, it's -40, so that's in the other direction. Looks like we've passed the island. -40 at 181, and that's nautical miles. So that swings down to the 91. Drag this thing way the heck out. I'm going to save this thing as E1 speed LOP. And now we'll set up for the second shot. So 90 degrees and 69.55. 90 degrees. And 65. Oh, I haven't cleared the shot out yet. Alright, I'm getting saturated with work here. Not good. -40 was the offset. Star 1 azimuth was 359. And the altitude was 26 degrees 15 minutes. Oh shoot, oh man. I shouldn't have messed with this yet. We should have plotted it first. I was gonna say that confused the heck out of me. Okay. Alright, there we go. I was like, why does that not look like the line that I drew? It's just using the thing wrong. Okay, 90 degrees. $69.55. Okay. And the first shot time was 8:21. Second shot is going to be at 8:25. we've gone for just about 5 full minutes from our last location, which means we would have traveled 26 miles. So we're 26 miles, okay, negative 30. We're 26 miles off of where we think we are here in the southerly direction, Mark Star 2. Okay, so we're southeast of the island. So I'm going to say at 08:26. Well, actually, let's get this thing plotted one step at a time. Our assumed location was the destination, and we're going to go out, how many nautical miles? 30 nautical miles in the opposite direction, so that's 270, out 30 miles. And I'm going to turn it on end here. Yeah, we're south of the island. Yeah, we missed it. Something went wrong with the LOP intercept. So maybe it's a good idea to start taking shots off the LOP intercept. Okay, I just marked that down as a lesson learned. Okay, this is E1 course LOP. Okay, now I got to figure out where the heck we are now. So now is 27, which means we would have drifted an additional 27. So that's 6 minutes. An additional 31 miles. An additional 31 miles, which means we need to turn 30 should take us right to the right to base. All right, and I'm going to be really sharp about this one. I'm normally not that sharp about turns up at 30,000 feet, but it's pretty urgent. We're not worried about fuel this flight. Okay, so at 08:28. It's 030 degrees, except I need to subtract east. So 18 degrees magnetic. Do that for, let's see, 90 miles, 17 minutes. Oh, 08:43. And I have to really think about math with a compass. So it is, actually I can just put it in my nav log real quick. So I want my new course to be .30. Yeah, 18 degrees is right. And look alive for land, goodness sake. Alright, position updates. 8:28, it's 8:31. We've traveled 3 minutes in this direction. So let's see, that's going to correspond with 15 miles. "15 statue miles." Well, I'm glad it looks like the upper reaches of the sky are almost completely clear. You know, that's good. Because, oh my gosh, if it were overcast, I would be probably making for 40,000 right now, is what I would be doing. Okay, I think I can't tell if that's low clouds or terrain. I am not going to let that out of my sight. "32. 32 now is 6 minutes. In 6 minutes we would have traveled 31 miles. Let's get set up again, just in case, right? We're expecting the base at 8:43, so let's change the time in Skyview Cafe to 8:43. And then for another E2 site, Sirius is at 88 degrees, 75 degrees, 10 minutes. And Capella is going to be located at 355 degrees, 26 minutes, or 26 degrees, 0 minutes in elevation. We are heading northwest-ish, so we want the speed shot first. We're going to take Capella. So that is at use the numbers I wrote down, 355. And let's see, our altitude is going to be 26. 26 on the nose. Okay, and just to confirm before these stars go away, because they are extremely important to me, yes, they are captured on my chart. absolute heck is this place? Yeah, this is definitely the last time that we ever try a night landing on this trip. This is clearly a mistake. How can I not see any night lights still? Literally nothing. Alright, 8:37. We took the site at 20:28, so we've basically gone 9 minutes now. And 9 minutes would take us 45 miles. As long as we're traveling in the right direction. And that means we should be less than 10 miles from landfall on Fiji. Why can I not see landfall? I should be seeing trees. Oh, what's this? What is that? I might be seeing terrain. It's kind of hard to tell. It's really hard to tell. Alright, yeah, I'm convinced I see terrain now. Okay. At, what is it, 8:38? Initiating descent. I need to be quick with this. Okay, descent, throttle's 15 inches. Okay, throttle 1600, or propeller 1600 RPM. I actually can't get down to 1600, we're going so fast. Oh, yeah, that sneaky little island. Wow. That is so hard to see. Okay, that's definitely where we went wrong. Is never underestimate. See, I look at these clouds, and I'm like, well, clearly it's not that dark. I mean, if you look, you know, the clouds are all lit up and everything. This would not happen in real life. The clouds should be as dark as the ground, if not even darker. Yeah, that's it. We're definitely over land. Yeah, so... Yeah, definite lesson learned. Do not attempt to land at night. Don't do it. It's like they say, don't mine at night, don't land at night. I'm not worried about the runway. The runway's got runway marking lights. It's identifying the island that's the scary part. If it just stuck up like, you know, 10,000 feet like half of the other islands, it would have been way easier. Well, I'm happy in the sense that we were able to rectify a very dangerous situation and things are turning out all right. But what I will say about this is that something went very wrong with the LOP intercept. I'm going to have to review the footage and see exactly what went wrong. Because we definitely did turn ahead of where we were expecting to. And I felt that it was wrong all along. So in other words, I mean, it was probably pretty obvious, but I felt we were turning too soon. I said that. I'm like, well, I was expecting LOP intercept in 10 more minutes. But it said that we were on the line. But we weren't. So I'm going to have to review the footage. I'm going to have to review everything that I had in the log. That's the great thing about spending about as much time to plan the flight as it does to fly the flight, is I have all the artifacts that I need to figure out what the heck went wrong. Whoa, got some wind. Guess we just went through a wind shear of some sort. That's a really bright light. Good thing angler fishes aren't in the sky, because I want to head for the light. I'm just going to keep that light out my left window the whole time. Oh, we finally reached 1600 RPM. Where is this thing? I see it outside the window, but not inside the window. Getting some light acrobatics in here, trying to, I guess it's aerobatics, trying to find this thing. Why does it look different inside the cockpit than it does outside the cockpit? Okay, I've got it. Oh, it actually looks like that might be our runway. How about that? Whoa. We just picked up some serious speed in a dive here. Man, that stinks. That basically means I failed my final test. If I came into Fiji, no problem, then I wouldn't just not really care as much about Tonga, or you know, care about getting the navigation really good for Tonga. But now, I mean, the heat is on. Tonga Tapu is a small island. It's not like Fiji. It's not going to be like where you can, you know, just go over land and be like, yeah, I see it. No, 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 no. It is not going to be like that. It is going to be like an ocean liner on the ocean. Fiji's a huge island. It's like 60 miles in diameter. So we're going to have a serious issue. Alright, let's go back to the checklist here, my navigation checkpoint. So, forget the landfall, that was a complete disaster and will need review and correction. What's really weird is it was happening exactly the same way on the Vanuatu arrival, where it's like, okay, we're off, we need to fix that. We fixed it, and I'm like, oh, we're at the LOP intercept, and then everything went haywire. Alright, I need to get my, let's see, 29.62 is the barometric pressure here. So let's see, 68 to 62. That's going to be about, what, 80 feet? Okay, I'm not exactly sure how to read this window, but there, I set it. Well, it seems that I have kept my eye inside for too long, and I lost sight of the runway again. I was hoping to check my descent measurements too, and that's not working either. The good thing is Nadi International is going to have two intersecting runways, so it's going to be really hard to to misidentify the airport. Okay, we're below 10,000 feet, so going back to the checklist here. Oh, we're going to need the whole thing here. We'll just leave. I don't want to mess with the fuel boost pumps right now. O2 flow off. To be honest, I'd just rather leave the fuel boost pumps on. After the amount of fun that we just had, the last thing I want to do is fiddle around in the dark. I think I'm going around the north side of the island. Dang, wind. Okay. Alright, we're going to bring up to a nice cruising speed here. You know, I'm not certain that I've ever performed a night landing in this aircraft either. What the heck was I thinking? Alright, I need to start thinking about fuel. Let's see, so we've been on these tanks for 6:48, and it's been over 2 hours, and we're burning about 147 gallons an hour. Which means in 2 hours we'll burn about 300, so it's almost time to switch off the drop tanks here. The night is making identification very difficult. Alright, we should go to fullest tanks now. So, we're going to drop tanks to main at 8:59. And so we're on drop tanks, so we need 1, 2, 3 clicks to get to main. 1, 2, 3 clicks. 1, 2, 3 clicks. And I could actually see it that time for some reason. Oh my gosh, what a sight for sore eyes. That's Nadi International. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's get this thing set up for runway 11. We'll get on to downwind here. Man, oh man. Alright, so fuel selectors in fullest tanks, boost pumps, we turn those on. We're going to go to 2600 RPM. Mixture and auto rich. Cooler shutters, open everything up. Speed established 175 miles per hour. And I really got to see the attitude indicator here because the winds are just nuts tonight. Okay, 175. Once we get our climb situation fixed here. Okay, gears coming down. Oh my god, we just oversped the gear. What the heck is going on tonight? I'm in a twin-engine plane and my speed is going between like 150 and 200. No gear warning light, that's never a good thing. Landing light switch on. Gear is down. Alright, landing is assured. Flaps are going down. Got a crosswind at night. This one's going to be fun. A little bit sloppy on the landing, but hey, we're here. I'm not going to complain. hate my rudder pedals right now. Let me tell you. Don't give me anywhere near the control authority that I need. Okay. Wow. That one was pretty intense. I actually need like a couple seconds here to cool down on the runway. The cool sleuthiness stuff is gone. Okay. After landing, flaps up. Fuel boost pump switches off. 1, 2. Propeller, governor full forward. Coolant shutters full open. I think we took care of that already. Yeah, those are open, open, open. I can never remember which setting the oil coolers are open in. It's apparently not that one, though. Okay, they're open. Alright, landing lights not off yet. I'm gonna turn them off when we get off the runway. And recognition lights. Those can go off. One, two. Alright, I need the plate. Good thing I have these in my books here. Okay, there is no runway to back, or it's other way around. There is no taxiway. We're going to have to back taxi. So we're going to back taxi, and it should be pretty soon on the right, should be the terminal. And then I just got to find the fuel pump. So guys, I know this is a sloppy flight, but like I said, this is a learn series, not a look what I can do series, so forgive me for being under-skilled for this attempt, but, you know, I'm learning, and this is kind of the only way you learn, other than, you know, being an apprentice of someone that actually really does know, and is like, dude, you're trying to land at night, you're an idiot. You know, stuff like that. I had to find that out for myself. But let me tell you guys, I am glad just to be on the ground now, on a runway. So I don't care. I mean, yes, this was a big mistake, but I do not care. I'm here. I made it. That's all I care about. And from now on, never attempt a landing in dark. Or at least without fuel reserves that will last the night. Because I figured, oh, you know, I found the island. That's the end of it. No, that was far from the end of it. Even once I was on the island, it's like at all stages I was resisted. I'm like, okay, the island. Okay, now where's the runway? Oh, there it is. This will be easy now. Nope. The wind went crazy. And I'm glad that I'm probably going to have to inspect my landing gear. I'm glad it didn't shear off, because I definitely oversped it. By like 25 miles an hour. Okay, we can turn the landing light off now. You know, on second thought, I don't think this place has enough taxiway lighting. I'm gonna leave it on. Anybody know where the fuel pump is? Oh, you know what? That reminds me. Let's hop on the wing and see what it looks like. What this mess looks like in terms of fuel. She got our landing time. We'll say 9:10. Alright, let's see what the fuel situation is. Okay, left reserve 52. Left main is full. Oh, I forgot. I can't actually switch the tanks. Okay. That's interesting. The right tank is actually significantly off from the left tank, which would happen in real life, especially if there were a gradient when measuring the fuel straw here. Let's see. Right tank, we'll call that 53. And then right main is full, which means we're still on the drop tanks. They still had 59 gallons. Wow. So 59 and 59. So if I add all this up together, we get 118 and 105. 223? Right, 223 gallons burned. Okay. Something's wrong with my math here. Ah, of course, I didn't add in the 93s. So I had to add 186 to that, and that should equal the fuel on board, which shows at 409. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. But we flew for way longer than we did, so I'm gonna be poring over this one for a long time. Okay, we'll start moving again here. Well, the good thing is, even if I can't find the pump at night, we're here. You know, I can shut the engine down and I'm not going to die now. What is that thing? What the heck is that thing? Oh my god, that's my light. Well, I suddenly know why the LOP intercept went wrong. YouTuber sees light, believing it to be radioactive substance in the shape of a hat. Maybe it's back this way. Okay, now that flashing green and red thing, that's definitely not my lights. That might be the, hang on a second. That's it. Standing off the horizon like a skyscraper. That's in a really weird location. That's like, what is that, the intersection of the runways? No, it means I gotta cross 9 or 27 again. No, as long as I don't go fast enough to end up back in the air again, because that is the last thing I want to do. And no, I would never ever taxi a plane this fast in real life. So don't worry. I can't believe I managed to spot that thing. Like, I was expecting it to be, like, close by, like maybe somewhere in here. I was not expecting to be able to see it halfway across the airport. Yeah, that's way the heck down there. That might be at the last turnoff on the left, which is kind of strange because, you know, normally you'd want the fuel to be close to the terminal and as far away from the water as possible. Well, I don't see anyone else crazy enough to come in here. I'll tell you what, it certainly gives me great respect for the guys who had to do this, and they didn't have the luxury of being able to press Shift-Z to instantly find their location. I know there have to be several cases where, you know, your mission or sortie didn't go right, you got forced a lot further downwind than you thought you'd be, and you just couldn't get back in time, and it got dark and you didn't make it to base yet, and you know, you have to deal with it. I can't imagine the guts that those guys would have to be able to do that. And that's insane. Alright, So it looks like we'll be able to take this turn here. Oh man, we're in the grass. Well, the good news is this is giving me some experience with taxiing. You know, that's something that I normally don't do a lot of in this airplane. So if you watch the fuel gauges, those should pop up once we get into the fuel station here, which looks like it's going to be the next turn. Alright, watch the fuel gauges, and there they go. Whew. That was quite a ride. I'm going to spend a lot of time debriefing this one off camera and trying to piece together what happened. And if I can get just a few things, here's the root cause of what happened. I mean, obviously a contributing factor was the fact that it was dark out and I just didn't know about that. But something had to cause me to get the LOP wrong. If we had gotten the LOP intercept right, we wouldn't have had this problem. So, I mean, that might have been right and I just didn't see the land. That is also possible. We'll have to see. Anyway, this journey is at an end, so landing light off. Alright, stopping the engines, and hopefully I can do this right. So I'm going to grab not reset the simulation. Throttles will bring those up to 1600 RPM. I don't think I've ever had to shut down in the darkness. This should be pretty interesting. Okay, return to 1200. And mixture auto cutoff. Alright, throttle open. Okay, magnetos off. And cockpit heat off. Intercooler flaps closed. Coolant override flaps should be closed in that position. The oil cooler flaps are closed too. Yeah, looks like everything is closed. Okay, oil shutters automatic, avionics light off, AC generator off, regular old generators off. Huh, my right generator was off all along, which is strange because that's a checklist item. Generators are off. Panel light. Well, let's do the fuel selectors because there's no way I'm going to be able to see them. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, fuel selectors are off. Panel light off. Battery off. and I have a checklist on a checklist item on my list here that I've never wanted to read before, but tonight I want to read it. It's called Breathe Out. We're on the ground where we're supposed to be. Okay, top out, put the chocks in, and we're done. Alright guys, thank you for joining me on this adventure. We made it. We did not die. We did not go down. As I said, this adventure is hardcore. It ends and gets uploaded whenever it ends. Hopefully that's at South America, under fully inflated tires and a otherwise very celebratory landing. But there's no guarantees. The good news is, well, we seriously messed up. We were able to catch it in time because we're still in a protective zone where it's like the baby pool. We're not quite in the deep zone yet, although the Tonga leg, that one is going to be a lot more significant. That being said, I think the major problem here was we tried to do a night landing. Just don't do it. And I'm sure we would have been able to sight Fiji so much earlier. That was the big problem. But yeah, I mean, after Tonga, we got to prove ourselves at Tonga. Because then we start going out over serious open water. The Cook Islands, Rarotonga. We're not that far from Tahiti. When we get to Tahiti, that's where everything's got to come together. So we are, let's see, we're now 1,700 miles from the nearest coast of Australia. We're building in distance. Okay, guys, I think that's enough for this flight. My room is heating up because it's not that cold outside, and my computer generates heat like crazy. Again, thank you guys for joining me. I've been Dr. Aeronautics, and I will see you guys next time where we plan to not land during the night again. Bye-bye. Hey guys, this is Dr. Aeronautics after the fact. Here I have a LOP intercept anomaly review spreadsheet, which basically allows me to learn from my mistakes and make myself better on other trips. It's basically broken out into 4 sections. The columns, the 3 columns in the upper section are the problems, the contributing causes from those problems, and the direct cause that basically enabled whatever happened to happen. In the very bottom, we have corrective actions, and the columns are status and actions. So basically, it comes down to 2 root causes. The southerly drift was caused by me following my route heading, not the compass heading. This is something that has been present in the flight ever since we lifted off from Vanuatu. The incorrect star position was entered. The azimuth was incorrect, which happened on LOP to exactly coincide with the base. And that led me to believe we were on the LOP intercept. And then when I did fix the problem, I still didn't allow the shot to complete before I really should have. So that was the problem there. The elevation of the star entered was also wrong, and the mental math that I made on the landfall chart was wrong. So we'll talk a little bit more about that. But basically, why I continually got things wrong was due to something called confirmation bias, which is when you think you've seen something, so you're going to be dispositioned to seeing something that might not necessarily be true. The other direct cause was simply I failed to properly assess and understand the night conditions. Last flight, we flew with the moon. This time we did not. And I really think that the moon made the difference. But altogether, you can see I've made some corrective actions. 4 major actions came out of this. Never land at night. I've added a check to my checklist to ensure that that is the case. I have grayed out the course headings to cause me to need to seek other sources, and that will remind me. And I also added a step to the landfall procedure, a note about how important azimuth is, and allowed all shots to complete. And then lastly, I set to update the landfall chart to allow self-plotting of observations. So in future legs, the LOP intercept landfall chart will look different because it will have a new column called observation. And that just about wraps up what I think the problems are, and I will see you guys on the next leg with these new corrective actions taken care of.